And you're listening to The Brown Perspective. This is Eduardo, and I'm joined by El Mero Mero, the Big Enchilada R.O.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Not much. Wanted to talk today about politics in the Latino community, food, and name calling.
I take offense to being called the big enchilada. That's
Come on, that's a
of
compliment. You're delicious. At least I didn't call you a chimichanga.
yeah. It's funny. Growing up in Mexico, I had no idea what those were. Those must be American chimichangas because we don't know what those are in Mexico. Just like at least the region of Mexico where I'm from, I don't understand why anyone would put sour cream on their burritos.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I guess that's where you depart from the Salvadorian and other Central Americans in terms of adding crema.
Crema and the plantains that they like to eat, the
La
plátano
crema
frito.
salvadoreña, vos
Yeah.
va. I know we're not hungry as we're recording this episode, but we just wanted to talk about the some recent incidents around our politics. I think the first one being the comments that First Lady Jill Biden made at the recent Unidos US conference in San Antonio, where some people call it a gaffe, that she compared the Latino community to breakfast tacos. I was actually in the room where it happened, and the reaction was very different live.
Did she get
And
laughs? What was the reaction real time?
yes, yeah, because real time she was, and then to back it up, I mean, she got this very thorough introduction by the president of Unidos US, Janet Murguia, and just talking about the long-standing relationship of Dr. Biden with the organization and also working in the Latino community as a teacher, as the second lady when Biden was vice president, and now as a first lady. So talking about the long track record that she has working with the organizations, with the Latino community, on education, which is one of those, unlike what a lot of people who are not Latino think, education is probably the number one issue for the Latino community because it's such an important way
Yeah.
for our community to advance. But in any case, so they provided that context. She gave a lot of her speech, like a lot of the speeches from individuals who represent an administration, tout everything, the investments and things that have been done in support of the Latino community and other communities. But then this particular comment, she was talking about the diversity, trying to capture the diversity reflected in the room, thousands of people from across the country who attend that conference. And she talked about how the community is as diverse as the flowers in Florida, as the bodegas in New York, as the breakfast tacos in San Antonio. And she got a big clap because people in San Antonio and people in Texas in general, I think, are proud of their breakfast tacos.
I remember when this blew up, I remember going to the video, and I'll play it right now, and listening to it, and didn't really thinking much of it. So I just figured that the Republicans were picking up on it, taking it a bit out of context and trying to run with it, trying to create a controversy. Let's go ahead and play the comment and then the video, and then we can comment more on it.
Okay.
The diversity of this community, as distinct as the Bogotas of the Bronx, as beautiful as the blossoms of Miami, and as unique as the breakfast tacos here in San Antonio.
I didn't hear you. What happened? I thought you said that she got a pretty good. I don't know
Yeah.
if she got the reaction that she was hoping for.
I mean, not everybody was from San Antonio. There was a strong San Antonio presence there, and you heard them.
I think I missed it the first time that she said bogotas.
Bodegas, yes.
Did she say bodegas or bogotas? It sounded like she said
Something like that.
It sounded like she
It
said
sounded like
bogotas.
Bogota.
Yeah. Um,
But you get the context, right? When she said New York, oh, bodegas, got it.
Yeah,
And for those listeners who are not familiar with bodegas in the East Coast, they're basically little corner stores in predominantly Latino neighborhoods where you can buy a lot of products of common use in Latin America, like coffees and a bunch of other things.
did you, since you were in San Antonio, did you try the breakfast tacos? I didn't even know that breakfast tacos were a thing in San Antonio.
Well, I knew Texas breakfast tacos were a thing here in California. Actually, there's a restaurant that we go to where they offer Texas breakfast tacos. I was like, oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that was a thing. And then in Texas, indeed, they did have breakfast tacos. And it was interesting. I also had a breakfast at a German Mexican place. So it was an interesting combination. And at that point, I didn't have the breakfast tacos, but one of the people I was with did have them, and they seemed to enjoy it. So again, for me, it was perhaps a poor attempt at trying to, either for her or the poor staffer who wrote this speech, I try to as a way to connect with the Latino community and those in attendance in a small but important
You would
locally way.
you would think if Texas, if they're proud of being known for having breakfast tacos and good breakfast tacos, you would think that that's something to be proud of. So I don't understand why people would get offended at being compared to the diversity in breakfast tacos. At this point, tacos are as almost as American as they are Mexican, honestly.
Usually, where you have a a breakfast, a Mexican breakfast, they serve it with tortillas. So I think the natural inclination is to take the tortilla and make a taco out of it, right? I know some people eat differently, and I'm not Mexican, so I know that I only sort of see what others do and prefer to do, but I know that that's an option too. Or that's my assumption too. Oh, they gave me a tortilla. If they give me
Yeah.
a tortilla, I must do a taco, right? That's how my
Oh
mind
no,
has
no, no!
worked as it relates to
Is that
food.
what you do when they give you tortillas? You make tacos?
Yeah. I mean, what else? How else are you supposed to?
Well, this is something that maybe has been lost in the U.S., but because I grew up in Mexico in a small town, the tortilla served
And
like a
by the
similar.
way, can we let our audience know that you make your own tortillas?
Oh, right, yeah. Get my own corn and make my own tortillas because the genetically modified corn from Guerrero tortillas. I don't know what that is, honestly. Those are not tortillas. I think every time every time somebody buys one of those tortilla packets that has like 60 tortillas in them, and they're called tortillas, I think a Maya somewhere and an Aztec somewhere just sheds a tear because they're like, what the hell have they done to our corn? We don't even know what that is.
Cultural appropriation, homie.
Well, I'm just saying that it's just they're so watered down, and they mix it with so many other things that you really have to try organic corn tortillas, handmade, to really appreciate how good a tortilla can be on its own. But anyway, the we were talking about the
How you eat breakfast in Mexico and tortillas in
oh right,
Mexico.
because you were saying how when they give you a tortilla, your instinct is to make a taco. But in Mexico, I remember that my grandparents and my parents would eat. You'd cut a piece of tortilla off, and you would use it to scoop the food or to pinch it, and then eat it with the tortilla. That's how they used it. Sometimes they wouldn't even use the forks or the spoons. So you don't really see that as much here in the U.S. I think usually in the U.S. people will just roll it. They'll roll the tortilla, and then they'll take a bite of it, and then they'll eat the food with the fork or with the spoon. But news to me that I guess I can see how you're not Mexican, so you would think they're giving you tortillas, you're supposed to make a taco, or if they give you flour tortillas, you're supposed to make a burrito.
The thing is, for Colombians, we use arepas. So arepas are tortilla, but they're sturdier. So an arepa, you can use it as I often use it as a way to get more food on my cuchara, right? To get that liquid or that stuff. So you can use it.
Yeah,
If
you could
I'm
use the
eating
tortillas for that
something,
too.
and then you also eat the the arepa or you put something on top of the arepa. We're not like those Venezuelans who put stuff inside the arepa.
Wait,
Ew.
wait, wait, wait. Aren't those just gorditas?
Yeah. Technically, I'm just playing. Obviously, I love Venezuelan arepas. So whether you put this stuff inside or outside, uh, it's delicious.
I never understood why people would take issue with food from other cultures. I mean, food's delicious regardless, right? You just have to find the stuff that you like. Just I'm sure every single culture has things that people will like and things that they won't like. But hey, man, yeah, I think I do take offense to her comment now that I think about it, because how unique can breakfast tacos really be? you know, they don't
They
seem
are
that.
very unique. They're also very,
How so?
you
Right?
know, they can be different, right? You can have them with beans, with rice, with potatoes, with so many other things. I think the ingredients themselves with different kinds of cheese,
But isn't
they're
that is
very
it
versatile.
isn't that very typical these days? Right? Like, I mean, you go for tacos. That's what you're gonna get. What's so unique about that? I mean, maybe unique if you've never been to the U.S., but if you live here, that's just a staple at this point. Like it's so regular that now if they were serving, like cochinita pibil, like authentic Oaxacan tacos, then yeah, those would be unique. Maybe they are doing that. Maybe I just don't know enough about Texas breakfast tacos in Texas to talk. Maybe I should go and try them out. Maybe they're doing some mind blowing things as opposed to what you mentioned, which is pretty common.
Yeah, and I think the other issue here is that unfortunately, unlike the former president predicted, we don't yet have a taco truck in every corner. So I think once that happens, we will be able to. And I know actually for Mexicans, some Mexicans or some Mexicans in LA, the tacos de canasta are a favorite treat in the morning. I look at least the times that I've been dragged to the callejones or the alleys here where you can buy everything and anything you ever need, but you have to go early to beat the rush and to get good deals. And you get some tacos de canasta, which I know have papa and other things that are more and beans. So I think you can also get them with chicharrón too. So those are pretty delicious, but they're smaller in portions.
All right, I have to put that on the list of things to do at some point. Check out breakfast tacos in Texas. Let's see what this is about.
And
Anyhow,
everything's bigger in Texas, so there will be the big
right.
flour
So
tortilla.
yeah, right. They give you a huge flour tortilla and they just fold it once instead of rolling it so it's a taco instead of a burrito.
Mm, mm, mm.
Well, anyway,
Sounds
so
delicious.
this comment it fizzled out, I think, within a few days. So I don't think it really gained that much traction just because there wasn't much there. And I think if I play this a little bit further, I think I saw a picture of Tucker Carlson. So I'm sure he picked up on that, and Fox News, I'm sure they picked up on it. But at this point, whatever. They're just gonna manufacture things to try to score points with their audience. I think for us, maybe it works with younger people, but I guess for you and me, I think we see it for what it is.
Yes, Taco Gate. But I think it's interesting that it also kind of gets to the general way that both parties, political parties, try to cater to the Latino community. So I know when he was running for president, Donald Trump took a picture for Cinco de Mayo where he had like a taco bowl
Yeah, I remember
and
that one.
wishing people that. And then he made that, I think he meant it as a negative that, oh, how horrible it would be to have a taco truck in every corner.
Yeah.
And for those people who live in California or in Los Angeles in particular, oftentimes they're like, oh, where are we going to get our tacos? And which taco truck are we going to go to?
Was that a taco bowl or a burrito bowl? Because I know that Chipotle has the burrito bowl. And by the way, you want to talk about something offensive to me as a Mexican? That's offensive because what the hell is a burrito bowl or a taco bowl? Like, come on, dude, just name it something else. Just that's not a burrito. There's nothing, right?
It's very different. I'm not gonna comment because I do like Chipotle. I know.
Well, I mean, I like the burrito bowl, right? Because it's just the contents of a burrito in a bowl. But it's also the contents of your typical traditional Mexican plate when you go to a restaurant and you order carne asada. It comes on a plate, and they give you rice and beans and guacamole and salsa, right? So, whatever. Just
It's a better culinary experience, Herrero. It's more
uh,
creative. It's about presentation.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah. All right, I think we can wrap it up here. I think again, nothing here, nothing to see here. Just the Republicans being Republicans, and Jill Biden making a gaffe just like her husband. I wonder if she gets it from him or he gets it from her, or maybe they just both feed off of each other and are gaffe machines. And
Yeah, it
and yeah,
happens. And I guess as we close our conversation, I know that the big news this week was that he got COVID.
yeah,
So we'll see how well he's double vaccinated, double boosted. I think he just wanted to take a break from coming back from the Middle East and Saudi Arabia. I think he just wanted to say, "Hey,
yeah.
I just need a break, so
This is
I'm going to stay put."
this reminds me of the episode the South Park when they cover AIDS and Magic Johnson, and at the end they show you what the cure for AIDS is, and he puts a whole bunch of cash into a blender and he blends it and then he injects it directly, making the commentary that the cure for AIDS or HIV is money. So
Mm,
I don't think anything's gonna happen to Biden. I don't, just like nothing happened to Trump. Why? Because they have a lot of money and they have access to the best care in the world. So someone's gonna be monitoring them, and I'm sure he'll be okay.
for sure.
All right. Let's wrap it up there. If you all out there enjoy our content, make sure to check us out. We are Brown Perspective. Nos vemos.
Ciao.